Story 1. Charlie. This happened to me when I was a junior in college. I'm a biology major, so I had to study a lot before every test. This took place a few days before an exam, and it was so weird because nothing like this had ever happened to me before, even though I'd been studying in that building all the time during my freshman and sophomore years. The difference was, I was always with people back then. Anyway, I had an exam on Monday, so I wanted to get a head start and started studying on Friday. It was around 6 p.m. when I got to the building. This was in November, so it got dark quick. I liked studying around that time because it was right after dinner and I had no excuse to leave. I liked that building too. The rooms were usually open, and there were multiple ones to choose from. It was a Friday night, so no one was around. I was more focused on graduating than partying, ditching the invites my friends sent me. I chose one of the rooms, unpacked my stuff, and set up shop. I had my textbook out, my laptop, and my notes, and I was deep into studying when I heard footsteps outside the door. It was quiet while I worked, so those footsteps stood out. The first time, they just went past my room. I didn't think much of it, but then I heard them again. Except this time, they stopped right at my door. I was sitting at the professor's desk, the longer one where you're able to lay everything out, just a couple of feet from the door. I made my way over there, and that's when I saw him. It was a guy. His name was Charlie. He was wearing a hoodie, so his arms were covered. But when he took his hands out of his pocket to gesture, I noticed they were bruised up. Only slightly visible, but it stood out. I figured he'd banged them up studying or something, but it stuck with me. He told me he was studying for an upcoming OChem test and asked what I was doing. It was a friendly conversation, and I made nothing of it. There was nothing creepy about it, except, looking back, those hands were the creepiest part. He left, and I saw him head toward the door that led out to the stairs. Okay, this is where it gets a little creepy. I went back to studying, and at 10 p.m., I heard the same footsteps coming to my door. They stopped right there. No knock, no barging in. The doors are unlocked, so whoever was out there could have come in if they wanted to. But nope, nothing. The weirdest part was the footsteps just ended at my door. It was dead quiet after, like the sound just vanished into the walls. I poked my head out and saw no one there. I even got up and checked. Still no one. I swore I heard those footsteps. I was creeped out a little bit because I heard them, you know? I stuck around until midnight, but nothing creepy happened after that. I just shut off the lights and left. The next day, I came back to the same room, in the same building to study. I got there a little after 6 p.m., got deep into my studying, and about 2 hours passed when it happened again. Footsteps walked toward my door and went past it. The classroom I was in was big, with 2 points of entry, and I heard the footsteps from both of them. I even felt the presence of something walking by. Then, a few minutes later, the footsteps went past the first door and stopped at the second door. I quickly went over, and there's Charlie again. I caught him in passing. What I found odd was he was wearing the same clothes, hoodie and all. I noticed the bruised hands too, but he kept them in his pockets this time, so I didn't say anything about them. I chatted with him and asked if he was walking around the building around 10 p.m. yesterday. He told me no, laughed it off, and flirtatiously said I'm crazy. He tilted his head when he laughed, but his eyes didn't quite match it. Kinda cute, though, in the moment. He left the same way he did yesterday, exiting through the doors that lead to the stairs outside. I went back to studying, but a little past 10 p.m., the same footsteps walked by the door, past the first door, then the second, and then stopped. I peeked over. No one there. I waited a sec, half expecting a knock, but it was just that heavy nothing. I'm creeped out at this point. I just packed my stuff and got out of there. After that, I studied at Starbucks near my house and didn't go back. I told my roommates about the experience and they thought nothing of it. They're finance and kinesiology majors, so they're rarely in my building anyway. Fast forward to Monday, exam day. I told my friend about my weird encounter with Charlie, and mid-conversation, the professor chimed in and said, "Oh, I see you've met Charlie. He jumped off the 4th floor of this building back in 1996. My heart sank. I thought back to exactly where I was. Room 4104. The last time I saw Charlie, he passed room 4106 and exited through the glass doors that led to the stairs outside. That's where he jumped." My professor ended with, "We keep the doors unlocked here for him, and he only visits people who are alone." I kept replaying his voice in my head. It was real, but I was speaking to a ghost. I could still see those bruised hands in my mind, waving like it was no big deal. I still go to that building to study, except it's always with a group now. They always make fun of me whenever I tell them about the encounter, and I've always challenged them to study there alone.
Hey, I need your scary stories. Whether it's a paranormal encounter or just a creepy moment, I want to hear all about it. Send all your submissions to thedreadedhour@gmail.com. And if you made it this far, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps with the algorithm.
Story 2. I know someone who died. This happened during my 2nd year of college when I was living in the dorms. Our room was set up like this: a living room, common area, a kitchenette, a full bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. I shared one room with Melanie, Mel for short, while Nikki and Hannah shared the other. Mel and Nikki were freshmen, totally skipping that cramped freshman dorm vibe, where you're stuck in a tiny box with one person and a bunch of other newbies. Hannah and I were sophomores. We all got along great and did almost everything together. Hit the dining hall, flirted with the boys next door, went to a ton of parties. Everything except classes. Here's the rundown on us. Mel was the flirtiest, hands down. She'd broken up with her boyfriend right before college, so she was on a mission, always scouting parties for us. Nikki was her opposite. Shy, had a hard time talking to people, but she was the prettiest out of us. Weird how that works, huh? Hannah had a boyfriend, Armin, who didn't go here. He was the controlling type. Didn't want her doing anything. We'd be out at some party and she'd get a call from him cussing her out, telling her to get back to the dorm, saying, "I'm coming to pick you up." Yeah, she'd end up bailing on most stuff we did. Me? I was normal, I guess. A solid 8. White girl, brunette hair, hazel eyes, freckles, and really good at beer pong. Hannah was pretty too, but she wasn't the best girlfriend. She didn't throw herself at every guy, but when she crossed boundaries, she crossed them. Remember how I said we hung out with the boys across the hall? Yeah. Hannah slept with one of them, Bobby. They kept it low-key, but us girls knew. She'd sneak off, say she was grabbing a snack from the campus coffee shop, but we all knew she was next door doing dirty things with Bobby. Anyway, here's where it gets good. Fast forward to October. Bobby and his friend Josh, who just rushed Sigma Chi, invited us to one of their frat parties. They were newbies, so they pitched this dope idea that we should go with them to keep a 2-to-1 ratio. Sounds like us girls got the short end of the stick, right? Yeah, we knew, but we were planning to get fucked up anyway, so who cares? Oh, by then, Bobby and Hannah had stopped hooking up. They were just friends. Or so we thought. We got to the party and talked to a mess of people. It was a neon lights party. Dress code was to wear white, and they painted our whole bodies when we walked in. Mel was glowing green and purple, flirting with some guy by the keg. Nikki had pink streaks on her cheeks, giggling with a dude who wouldn't shut up about his pledge stunts. Girls were sluts, guys were dogs. That's exactly how it went down. We drank, got shit-faced, but I was still coherent. I knew what was happening. A few hours in, the dance floor heated up. I saw Hannah grinding on Bobby, Mel and Nikki with some guys. And yeah, I was with a couple dudes too. But this is when I think it happened. Hannah left a little past 11 p.m. and let us know. She waved quick, but her smile was tight, like she knew Armin was pissed already. I told her to text us when she got home safe and walked her outside. That's when I saw Armin's black Nissan Altima, those ugly 20-inch painted rims sticking out, hints of silver showing where the paint was peeling off. Ugly. They drove off, and we figured they'd be cuddling back at the dorms eventually. They'd argue and yell, then have makeup sex, then cuddle. Except that's not what happened. We called one of our guy friends to pick us up, and when he dropped us off, there were 3 cop cars at the entrance of our building. We freaked out, ran up to an officer and asked what was going on. He said they were responding to gunshots, but wouldn't let us in or tell us where it happened. One cop muttered about a mess upstairs, and my stomach dropped. We started calling Hannah. No answer. Nothing. We kept trying, but we never heard from her again. To be honest, we were kind of still fucked up, so we were saying obnoxious things. We told the officer we lived in room 308, and he said we had to call our parents and go home. Later, we found out Hannah died that night. We were never told the gory details, but it was rumored there were more than 15 gunshots. We're not entirely sure what happened to Armin. A detective contacted us, and I told them everything. How we were at the party, how Hannah left early with Armin, her boyfriend. I said he was abusive, that he's the one they should be looking for. I'm not 100% sure if they ever found him. Nikki, Mel, and I moved out of the dorms a week after. We picked up our stuff from the police station, and that was it. I still think about that night when I let Hannah leave. Nothing like this had ever happened during all the times they'd argued. I keep hearing myself say, "Text us," like that was enough. I always wonder what would have happened if we just told her to stay with us, if we dragged her back inside, laughing, instead of letting her walk out to him. Story 3. Kitchen Scares. I'm a sophomore at Ohio University in Athens. This place is a ghost trap, swear to God. Henning Cemetery. The Ridges, aka the Insane Asylum, the whole damn campus. Google Ohio University Hauntings and Legends. It'll bury you in creepy stuff. I grew up hearing all of it, but I wasn't buying it until it slammed me square in the chest. I snagged an RA gig at Jefferson Hall, moved in a week early because that's the deal. My folks and little sis rolled up Monday afternoon, dumped my junk, set me up, then peeled out. Left me solo in this creaky old dorm. Word is, Jefferson's got poltergeist rumors from way back, doors slamming, weird vibes, but I didn't give a damn. I was a broke college student, and being an RA had so many perks. I'm running the 3rd floor, and the first night's whatever. Met the other RAs, Chase, Emily, Dawn, and we met up for some lame-ass meeting with all the RAs. Then we split. By 10 p.m., I'm starving, stuck in my room, and the kitchen's up on Chase's floor, the 4th. Hallways are lit up, fluorescents humming, no spooky shadows yet. Kitchen's basic. Electric stove, microwave, toaster on one side, sink and dishwasher on the other, soap dispenser, and one of those wave-your-hand paper towel deals by the stove. There's all these signs telling the residents what to do. I toss ramen in the microwave, lean on the counter just chilling until it dings. About 30 seconds in, I hear this faint click. like a switch flipping, over by the stove. I glance over, nothing's off, but my gut's already twitching. Then the soap dispenser goes hard, like someone slammed it, and soap splats on the counter, a big, gloopy mess. I hear it clear as day, skin crawling, heart thumping. I'm staring at this blob, thinking, no way, it's just busted. But my legs feel like lead. I can't move yet. I shake it off, tell myself it's nothing, and step closer to wipe it up. That's when the paper towel dispenser loses its damn mind. It kicks on, spitting paper like it's possessed. Loud, fast, this grinding whir echoing in the empty room. It won't stop. Paper's piling up, snaking over the counter, and I'm frozen, just watching it unravel like some messed up horror flick. My chest is tight. Breath is stuck, and I'm half waiting for it to quit, half praying I'm losing it. The microwave beeps. Ramen's done, and it jolts me awake. I lunge for it, hands shaky, but the dispenser's still going, paper hitting the floor now. I'm muttering, screw this, under my breath. Snag the ramen and bolt like a coward. I pound on Chase's door, loud enough to wake the damn building. Takes him forever, either asleep or hiding something sketchy, though his lights are blazing. He opens up, bleary-eyed, and I spill it all, words tripping over each other. We haul ass back to the kitchen. Lights are still on. No horror movie vibes. Just the smell of fresh ramen and paper towels drooping to the floor. Chase thinks I'm full of it. We've just met. Not tight yet. So he's smirking like I'm some weirdo. Then it hits. The sink blasts on full, and the microwave slides a foot toward the stove, like something's pissed we're there. We're gone, sprinting down the stairs to Emily's room on the second floor, like scared kids. We grab Dawn too, drag them back up. When we get there, the microwave's open, sinks gushing, paper towels dangling, but it's dead quiet now. I shut the sink, close the microwave door, and we bail. Emily and Dawn swear Chase and I staged it. They wouldn't drop it all year, always smirking about our ghost prank. I still text them about it, but they laugh it off. Nothing like that ever hit again, though. I made it through the whole damn year with no more spooky crap. I still get chills up there cooking alone, ramen spinning in the microwave, but it's probably just my head screwing with me. One night, I even called out, "Yo, Soap Ghost, you there?" But nada, no surprises. Guess I'm stuck wondering if I'm nuts or just unlucky.
Thanks so much for watching. Your time means the world to me. And remember, as my dad always said, nothing good ever happens past the dreaded hour. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next story.